Not all crafting budgets are created equal, and alcohol markers are an investment. Or maybe you've never tried them before, so you don't want to have a huge financial commitment for something you might not even like. So I was really excited when Ohuhu reached out to me because I've heard amazing things about their alcohol markers. And they are affordable. And full disclosure, Ohuhu sent me these markers to try with no strings attached. So let's take a look at one of the markers. And of course I grabbed a teal one here. You can see that there's a grey line on one end of them, and that's going to tell me on these markers that that's a brush nib end. They're dual-ended markers, which means you have a couple of different options. I chose the sketch and chisel tip end. I find I can use that for techniques, and I'll got a bonus little tip later in the video using that. They are a round barrel, so they have the potential to roll around on the table, but on the caps there's actually a little nib that stops that from happening, and the caps do clip onto each other too, so you can actually pull the cap off and put it on the back of the pen when you're colouring so you don't lose it. On the barrel itself it also has a picture of which nib end there is, and each end of the pen is colour coded. It has the number of the pen written on it as well as the name. But I did notice that there's no name written on the barrel itself, so if you did happen to take both caps off each end and mixed up your pens, you might have to refer to your swatch to work out which colour it is. Alright, so we do need to swatch our colours out. One of the most important things you can do is swatch out your colours. I do this pretty much with any new set of alcohol markers, pencils, even watercolours. It's going to give you the exact colour that you're using. Now, I would recommend also using the cardstock to swatch it out on that you would typically use. Don't feel like you're wasting the cardstock, because I know it's usually your good stuff, because you're going to keep this and you're going to keep referring to it all the time. It's also going to give you a feel of how the marker works on the cardstock that you're going to be colouring on. So Ohuhu provide free downloads at their website, which I'll link below, so that you can download the swatch sheets for any sets that you get. They also provide one in the case itself, and I'll show you that shortly. But it's a thicker cardstock, and I probably will swatch out the smaller sheets as well, just so I can keep them in the bag. So if I take these when I go camping, then I can just refer to that. And this is a set with 120 markers. Ohuhu now sell their markers individually. There's over 600 colours. But if you want to keep the costs down, or price per marker, the best way to buy them is in the sets. It's much cheaper to do this. This particular set is called Honolulu, and you can either get it with the brush and the chisel combination, or with the fine nib if you preferred. So Ohuhu have always had good quality markers from the reviews that I've been watching over the years. The big game changer recently has been the fact that it has hundreds of colours available now, which it never did before. This set has a really good range of colours: blues, greens, pinks, browns, probably all the colours you will ever need to colour what you want. But I did notice that they have other sets with different colours, including like a skin tone set and also a pastel set, which really intrigues me. And it looks like they're starting to have some refills for the alcohol markers as well, although their colours are limited at the moment. And like most alcohol markers, I found the numbering system a little bit confusing. So that's where your swatch really comes into its own. I really just look at the colours rather than the number or the name. And each set seems to include a Colorless Blender, which is awesome. And if you don't know what that is, I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Now, I was pretty impressed with some of the cap colours here. They are a little bit true to colour, but typically alcohol markers, the caps can't be relied on. So that's another reason why I swatched them out. And also because the colours change as they dry, they will get lighter. And that's just because as you lay the colour down, the alcohol wets the paper and it makes it look darker. So as that alcohol dries off in the cardstock, the colour's going to look lighter. So that way you're going to have a true looking colour when you refer to your swatch sheet. So I've written a full list of the pros and cons, what I've found today, just of my first impressions using these markers. And you can find those at my blog, and the link for that is below in the description. And the best thing is that these markers can be combined and will work beautifully with any brand of alcohol marker that you already own. So what's important really is to go for the colours that you want. I know it's a huge set, but there were a couple of colours in there that I thought, to my eye, looked quite similar. I finished the swatches, and what I did was I put the colours back into the case in the order that they're swatched. This is probably going to be the only time they're in numerical order, but I can find each colour in that 4 squares easier than trying to look through the whole case. At the back of the case, this is where you'll find the information. There is a plastic sleeve that can go behind your artwork as you're colouring, because if you haven't used alcohol markers before, they do bleed through cardstock and paper, so it's just going to protect your work surface or the paper behind it. Comes with a guide, and this book has a lot of different information. It's all on the web as well. They also show what other types of alcohol markers they have and a full range of the colours. It just makes it easy to see. So a couple of the markers felt a little bit scratchy when I was swatching them, almost like they were dry, but the colour actually flowed really easily onto the paper. So I did see that Ohuhu have a disclaimer. If you receive any dry or defective markers, that you can reach out to their support. And one really clever feature about these markers is that the brush tip or the sketch tip is actually reversible. So if it does wear, you can always just flip it around and use it from the other side. But you can actually buy replacement brush tips too. I tell you, I'm infatuated with the pastel colours. I think I'm going to have to get that one. And Ohuhu have very generously given me a 10% discount code. So use the code Lostinpaper10, lowercase, all one word. I'll write it in the description below if you want to save 10% on the Ohuhu website. And I thought I'd invite you along in my first colouring journey using these markers. Like I said, I use my swatch all the time. I'm not going to show it in this video each time, but pretty much every time I'm picking new colours, I grab the swatch out. I've chosen some colours that are a little bit different today, just to see how they go blending different colours together. And if a marker colour is new to me and I'm not sure how they're going to blend, I will always test it on a piece of scrap cardstock, which is the same cardstock that I'm going to be using to colour my image on. So I stamped a floral bouquet on some Nina 80-pound cardstock, and the reason I chose this one is because it's what I'm most used to colouring on with alcohol markers. Just going to make the comparison a little bit better. I've used some Memento Tuxedo black ink because I know this is not going to bleed when I colour with the alcohol against the black ink. I like to use more of a feathering or flicking motion on the brushes, and I'll mix my colours on the cardstock. I usually start with the darker colours on a flower, near the centre of the flower, and then build up some colour and some highlights over the petals. And what I usually do is colour the whole image once and then come back and add some shading, some depth and details later. And you'll often find at some point you might even look at it and not like the image. Don't give up. The great thing about alcohol markers is that you can rework an area, which is what I did here. I really liked the pretty colours that I'd done, but it was looking a little bit pale in my mind. It wasn't how I pictured this flower. You can overwork the cardstock, so if you're not happy with an area, wait for the paper to dry. And because it's alcohol, it really doesn't take very long. I would just wait a minute or two and then come back in. And this is what I did here. I've actually come in with a lot more colour. So the cardstock has already got like a base colour, and I'm much happier with the blend and with how the colours are going down. I didn't dislike the first version. It just looked a little bit more watercolory, and I just wanted more depth. So I will list all the colours that I've used here today. If you're interested, just head through the link below. And as I was working on the image, I mostly kept the caps off, and I didn't find there was a problem with the alcohol marker drying out. And there seemed to be a real nice flow of alcohol ink, but they are new markers, so they should be nice and juicy. The colours were really pretty, and overall I found the blending quite easy, and you will find that with any new medium. You have to get used to it. The brush tip felt very similar to other brands that I've used. It wasn't too flexible or too hard, but I did find for the really fine areas, like trying to get in the nooks and crannies and that I did go out of the lines just a little bit initially until I slowed down. Because it was feeling very similar to other markers that I've used, I think I just was trying to use them exactly the same. And every time, you'll know this, every time you try a new medium or a new tool, you do have to give yourself a little bit of a learning curve. Allow yourself the grace. And as always, I came in with a really dark colour, just to scare you, to add some very small detailed shadows. Now I chose some greens for the leaves. I wanted something quite bold. I'm doing exactly the same technique here. I like to sort of add my lighter highlight on a leaf first, and then come in with the deepest or the dark colour initially, and then blend it all out. But I did the same thing where after I'd done my first coat of colour, let's call it, I came back in and added another actual full layer of colour again, almost using a deeper green, just to get those shadows and depths into the image. Now I did go out of the line here. I wanted to show you this Colorless Blender. It doesn't blend. It's not true to form. What it does is it removes colour or lifts colour. So when I went outside the line, I was able to use the Colorless Blender to lift that colour. I will typically put a little bit of the blender on, wait a few seconds for the cardstock to dry, and if there's still colour there, then I'll come back in with the blender again. Some colours are more stubborn than others, and red typically is one of the hardest ones to lift. But just take your time and repeat the process, and you'll find that won't even be noticeable in the end. And what a great bonus to have a colourless blender included in the set. I'd like to know in the comments below if you've got Ohuhu markers, if you've tried them, or if you've avoided them. Let us know if you'd recommend them or not, or if you have any favourite sets or any tips that you want to share with us about them. But like any new toy, there is always a learning curve. So I would recommend, if you've got some, maybe you bought some and haven't even tried them yet, get them out and start colouring. What have you got to lose? It's just a piece of paper. And I left my stamp on the stamp positioning tool, so that meant I could come back in and re-stamp the outline using a nice bold black pigment ink. I think this really does help put the lines back into an image, and I'll do this if I'm colouring with most mediums nowadays. And as promised, here is my bonus tip. We're going to make a really quick and easy striped background using the chisel end of the marker. I'm tested out the colours that I think I might want to use on a piece of scrap cardstock. That way I know what the finished colour is going to look like. I'm literally just drawing striped lines on some, it's like a dark warm grey cardstock, and I chose a dark cool grey marker. I just think it gives it that sort of cool feeling on the warm background. And I know that not everyone will cope, but I love that these are not perfectly straight lines. And my final impressions of my very first colouring session with these markers? It was fun. There was a great choice of colours in the set I received, and the colours that I used blended really nicely together, and for a budget line product, I wouldn't be disappointed in this as a purchase. And if you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and I've linked a couple more colouring videos here for you to enjoy. I look forward to seeing you there. If you did like today's video, please click on the thumbs up button. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, and subscribe if you haven't. What are you waiting for? It's totally free. I look forward to seeing you back here real soon. Till then, happy paper crafting. Bye.